I know.
I don't want to just go into random talking about relationships.
I don't know anything, mate.
Well, that's what we're going to start with. Well, that's what we're going to start with, because what
I'll tell you what not to do. I'll tell you what not to do.
That's fine, because that's what we want to do. That's the point. But one of the things is I wanted to start pretty much where you are, and what I mean by that is all the work you've done to yourself. Yeah, and then. I don't want you to forget the concept of recovery and everything at the moment.
Okay.
You've been away as far as anyone else is concerned. So
I've been working on myself.
So my point is that now you're navigating just dating in general. So we're going to talk about it in stages. So we're navigating dating in general. Does that make sense? So putting yourself out there and what have you. But then also, obviously, the stuff that comes along with that because of recovery. So how you're meeting certain people and this, that, and the other. So give us an overview. What I mean by that is, tell me about your love life. No, don't tell me about your love life. But tell me about you now. Tell me about you. Obviously, if you were to,
I'm single.
Single, ready to mingle.
Well, stuff comes along. I'm not overly like seeking it.
So you've prepared yourself now for the last 2 years. You've done work on yourself. We're over that though, but you've done work on yourself to protect yourself. So how do you now maintain that and then say, right, okay, I'm going to be looking at dating, or I'm going to be.
Well, I've built up a lot of my own self-esteem now.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit more about myself. I know what I want, what I don't want. To an extent, I'm still only young, and I've still got a lot. I've still got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
In that sort of dating industry and relationships in general, because I've never really been in one.
Yeah.
But I've made quite a few mistakes. I've still got loads of mistakes to make.
Yeah.
Within dating and women and that sort of stuff. But, I'm really in the sort of mindset of now it is what it is. It'll just be put on. It'll come when it'll come.
You're about to say be put on a plate.
No. It's if I get on with someone, get on with a girl, great.
And when you're looking at relationships,
I'm not getting up and seeking it.
Yeah.
I'm not downloading dating websites, and I'm not bringing it in my day where I wanna.
Well, again, that's the other thing. So again, this is what I'm talking about. So how are you now looking at things where you've got a delicate line really, because you've got this idea of being a young lad who's he's a young lad and he's full of testosterone and he wants whatever other lad wants, which is true. But then you've also got the making sure that it's a fine line between every young lad and an addict who is now going to be, instead of doing drugs, concentrating on that. And then also the other element of it is just the complexities of dating anyway. Does that make sense? So you've got the idea of that you're a young lad, you're hot-blooded, you want to go out and you want to start meeting people. You've also got this idea that actually if I do this too much, or because you will look at yourself a lot better in a lot of normal everyday people, you would say, well, actually, am I fixing on this now rather than? And then you've also got this idea that even if you try to maintain a level of normalcy in what you're doing, the dating scene at the moment is people on iPhones and this, that, and hookups and friends with benefits. So how do you, as a young man, view the world of dating from a recovery element? Does that make sense?
Well, it has to be a little bit different for me. I really got to remember, I am a normal human being.
Yeah, I've said that to you all the time. Oh, normal's debatable, but you have the same urges.
I really have to accept now that I'm still working on myself. I'm still quite insecure. I've gone through a lot of stuff growing up. I've had a lot of trauma. It's quite hard to describe. I've accepted that I'm quite sensitive in this subject.
Yeah.
So I'm still prone to be, probably will get hurt in a way. Do you know what I mean? Because I grew up with no parents. I've had it, you know what I mean? I've constantly seeked my parents.
Yeah.
So I found that in different ways, and I found that in drinking drugs too initially. We talk about what I suffer with, and it's trying to fill a void, and it's that love off my parents that I'm missing. And take away the drinking drugs, that drug of choice, whatever it was, and and I'm still left with myself. I've swapped that for lust.
Yeah.
In my recovery, I've acted out on lust a lot. I thought that might have been the solution. Chase women round. Really put myself in some dangerous situations. Really hurt myself. Really, blind to it.
Well, I think that's it. I think the other element of it is
because I've not really known myself. I suffer with low self-esteem, and you know, I really am just thinking that's it. That's what I need. I need that validation, but I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. I've had to find that within first. You know.
And I think the other element of
it. I can sit here and say that, you know, anything could happen in life. I could meet a girl tomorrow. I could meet a girl in a couple of years. You know, I don't really know. Anything could happen in the day.
But not actively seeking. Because you've changed it now. Because when we spoke in the past, you kind of were thinking about actively seeking to some extent, weren't you?
Yeah, of course. Because I didn't really know much about me. Like, you know, I'd love nothing more than a nice relationship. You know, a healthy one.
Yeah.
You know, it brings the best out in me. I can bring the best out in her. We can progress. But that's I don't know what that is. I just got to keep working on myself, and hopefully me trying to bring the best out in me, that'll reflect on someone else. Do you know what I mean? It is a touchy subject because I don't really know. I wouldn't really know until I really have a leap. Might have to have a leap of faith and just go right. You know, put myself out there.
Yeah.
Or am I I'm trying to just keep myself safe? I don't know. Anything could happen. I like to think of it's not in my hands anymore.
Yeah.
I've had to give all that stuff to God.
Yeah.
I've had to give it over to a higher power. You deal with that for me, God, because I when I seek it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It really goes wrong. We call that self-will, in a way, you know. But yeah, I'm a red blooded male. You know,
that's what I mean. It's quite difficult, really.
The initial thought when I see a girl, you know, it's
and again, that's with a lot of people.
That's the instinct.
Yeah.
You know?
So. Again, so going back onto it, again, we're talking about relationships. We're not just talking about your own experience, we're talking about in general. When we talk about it in general, I have a viewpoint on. It's not fair to say I've had a viewpoint of dating in recovery. So for me, I think from experience, obviously not being dating in recovery, but with people I work with in recovery, there's a very good chance that when I talk about dating in recovery now, what I'm talking about is people who are in recovery dating each other. For me, now I need to make sure I say this right. For me, it's a really bad idea. I think it's a bad idea, but I will also say I understand two things. One, I know people that have made someone was with me last week, and he's been with his missus for 10 years now, I think. And they're both in recovery, and they make it work.
It works.
I think they are oftentimes like outliers. They are oftentimes like a very rarity, because you end up being closer to someone, especially if you're in a recovery house. That's slightly different because obviously you've build relationships with whoever you're around.
Don't get it wrong, but you know we're addicts. Take away the drink and drugs, and you know we're left with something. We're left with an emptiness, and if we can fill that with women. Or vice versa, for men for a woman, you know.
Well, that's slightly different. So that's talking more about
very early on in.
That's talking about sex.
Very early on in, it's dangerous because it's avoidance of where you need to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier getting into a relationship than really looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really having a look at what's going on for you. It's easy just to put it on someone else.
I find in recovery that and again, I know people that have gone into relationships and long-term relationships, but those people, most of the time, have been, for instance, they may have done a detox, may have gone to a recovery house, and they are 3 or 4 years down the line, and then because they move in the same circles, they've met each other, and then they have, rather than, like you've just said, rather than trying to come off drugs, you go to a recovery house, for instance, you meet someone who's kind of fit, you think they're fit, they clearly think you're fit, you're looking for some kind of emotional support, you cling on to them, and you think it's going to last forever.
There we go.
And I think, from my experience, I think like I can understand the concept of it, because
a lot of it's selfish as well. A lot of it only do it for their needs.
Yeah, definitely. But even if you have the full best of intent in it, you've got to look at things like.
Do you though? We're very early on in. You don't really know.
Well, let me rephrase it. Even if you think you have the full intent of it,
if you're probably in a lot of denial around stuff,
you're looking for some kind of support. A lot of people will go into this with no family supporting them. you're obviously, like you've already said, you're lustful. You've also got shared experience, which in many relationships is a good thing. If you, the concept of going out with somebody, even further down the line in recovery, if you're in recovery, is actually the idea of it is really good because you don't have to explain to each. You both have this experience. You don't have to explain why you're not going to go to the pub with each other. You don't have. So there's all that kind of stuff that actually is really great. The problem is that one slip and you both could go.
That's it.
And that's kind of the hard thing about it, I think, because. Again, I'm not anti it because I know people that have done that. One of my closest friends came in the other day last week. He's been with his missus for 10 years. They are flourishing, and will continue to hopefully flourish. Yeah, and they've been together for 10 years. He came into recovery. She was already doing quite well anyway. He did all his recovery with us and with the Thomas and what have you. And then maybe 2 years after that, he met this girl, and it was out of the bubble, and they were. It's shared experience, understanding why neither of them is going to have a drink that night, and this, that, and the other. They're flourishing. Yeah. But to me, it's a rarity. I also think they probably got honesty between them. Well, I think the other thing is as well. I think is the
big word there. Yeah. Your intentions, your self-honesty. How honest you're going to be around it.
I also think the stage you are with people in life and stuff makes a big difference. Do you know what I mean? What about you, Dave?
There's a big wide world out there. We all forget that, don't we? Because we're all stuck in the house together. Do you know?
From Dave's point of view, and this is why I wanted to bring you in after, and I don't want to tell you what your point of view is, what my point was, the reason I chose to bring you in after, and you can touch upon this as much as you want, is because you have experience in it to an extent. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to go into detail or anything, but you will have a different viewpoint to it. I don't have any experience of it, I've only observed. Yeah. Kieran's a young pop, look at his little face. You're an old timer, you've been in the trenches. Yeah. So you tell us from your experience, and again, I don't mean you have to share your experience, I mean your viewpoint of it.
Well, we have to go backwards from where I am today. Kieran's ahead of me when it comes down to recovery, whereas I'm not even a year in yet.
Yeah.
And when we're in group, it's recommended, it's not a law, that you wait 12 months solid recovery before you start looking around.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good gauge.
I'd say 2 years.
Yeah, that's the starting point of what we've been told when we're in group. And it's right. It's good. Yeah.
You only realise that now by getting on. I remember being a couple of months clean and someone saying that to me, Kieran, just wait until you're a year, 18 months, then have a think about it. And I was like, no, are you mad?
But you only are who you are. Does that make sense?
You are who you are.
Where you are. So you don't think it's going to change. That's with everything though. You only are who you are. So you think, no, I'm on it. I know what I'm doing. And then someone teaches you something
going to the gym, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you only are where you are. So obviously Captain Hindsight comes into play, don't you? And you start looking back and thinking, I should have done this and I should have done that. Where the reality is, it's not an option, is it?
Because of my habits, relationships were failures. I have better relationships with these people now we're not together than I did when we were together, because my needs came first.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the trouble started. Even when you got children, we put everything behind. There's a queue, and it's you using first, and everything else comes after. That's just the way it is when you're an addict.
And you don't see it when you don't. A lot of time you don't see it when you're in it anyway, do you?
No, but going back to like the difference in age, I'm not in a rush anymore.
Yeah.
So. And that's the attitude I sort of have to have as well.
Yeah.
You know,
but
it's a funny one, really, because you find that, to be fair, you find that at the older you get, and I don't mean even me, I'm not about just in general, the older you get, the less in a rush you become, even though you think you'd be more in a rush because you want to fit more stuff in. But like when you're young, you think that...
you get wiser.
That's it. We
debatable.
learn a lot about
I was being nice then.
Dave was talking about it.
I can take it on the chin. I've learned a lot about myself over these past 9 months than I ever did in the 59 years previous.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good place to be able to look at things properly. I'm looking at things with a clear mind.
So, what kind of things do you think, we'll discuss this as an open thing, so what kind of things do you think you could put into place not just you, I'm on about in general, as you're either young, you're either old, it doesn't matter, but you're somebody who's worked on yourself for the last however many years, and you're going to start, you're actively going to start either looking today, or you're actively open to it. Whether or not you're actually looking for it is a different thing, but you're actively open to
boundaries.
What could you put into place boundary-wise in regards to, you know, what, not just boundary-wise, but also, you know, where would you look, where wouldn't you look? Do you understand what I mean? What kind of things do you think you could put into place to make sure that you don't end up lying to somebody or ending up in a bad situation?
I think that for me that's a really difficult question because I don't really know where to look. I think for me it's just try and be true to myself.
Yeah.
And when I'm being true to myself and being the realistic version of who I am, and hopefully I'll attract someone, or I can attract someone who's for me. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You know,
well, the automatic dating areas that we used to go, pubs and clubs, they're out the window.
But now for me it's, you know, it's be events, it'll be in the gym, it'll be stuff like that. It wouldn't have nothing to do with pubs and clubs.
So I'm in the gym. Hit me up.
Sorry, Nick, you're not my type. Sorry, mate.
No, come on. I'm in the gym. I'm working out.
You changed.
Come on. Come on. We'll practice. I'm working out. How are you going to approach me? I'm doing squats.
Doing squats.
Right, come over.
Just keep your back a bit straight.
Got my headphones in, so I'm going to take them off.
Let me have a look at that form. My suggestion.
You do a lot of talking, honey. You'd be right out the window. Should we try again? Slow it down. Trying to take my headphones out. I can't hear you. Go again.
Just got a little bit of dust on you there.
Whoa, touching inappropriate. Fucking. Right. Okay. I think you've got a lot of work to do. If I'm honest with you, Kieran.
I've got a lot of work to do. But, you know, the intention's there.
Well, what's Dave? Watch how he would approach it. Dave, go.
I wouldn't be in a gym, would I?
No, whatever you are, just approach with it. I'm doing what I'm doing, gardening or whatever you're into.
I know.
Watch how smooth he is, watch.
Do you drink coffee?
I do, and I'd like to go out with a date with you. See how good he was at
Wow.
that? Boom, straight away. You were touching, you were... What the hell happened there? Even let me take my headphones out. Dave's got a date now, well done.
Here's one of my chat lines. I walked up to my daughter's mum, she was in a club, and I walked up and I went, do you know anything about football? That was my chat line.
Oh, I thought there was going to be an end to that. That was the story.
Yeah.
That was good though, old charmer.
Eh?
Who said romance isn't dead?
I rely on my devastating good looks.
Yeah.